Hey, welcome back. I spent $30 on a sandblasting attachment for my pressure washer, and today we are going to see if it works. So I have the box right here. Let's dig in, see what it comes with, see if there are any instructions, and then I'll show you what we're going to be blasting. So again, this is 30 bucks on Amazon. Comes with some rubber hose, safety glasses. Just kidding, I'm going to use an actual mask and respirator while we're blasting with this. All right, and then a couple of attachments. Not sure what those are, we'll find out in a minute. Some hose clamps with like the little plastic wing nuts on there. And instructions with pictures, so that's good. Pictures I can do. All right, so number one, connect A, which is this guy, pressure washer. All right, so that connection is going to plug directly into the wand on our pressure washer. So even though it says to do that first, I'm going to do that last because the pressure washer is not in front of me right now. Number two, insert B, or the sand wand, which is this guy, into dry silica sand or baking soda. I'm actually using coal slag that I got from Tractor Supply. When we go to set this up, I will show you what I purchased. I think I'm going to run it out of a bucket. Next thing is this is going to get attached to our red rubber hose, and then the other side is going to go to this fitting on the attachment on our pressure washer. So let's do that real quick. Aside from setting this up on the pressure washer itself, all right, that seems to be the extent of the instructions. All right, connect both hoses, one to the pressure washer end, one to the suction wand. If this ends up working and I keep it, don't just throw it away. I will replace those hose clamps because they seem pretty cheap, and these little plastic wing nuts seem that they're going to pop off. But other than that, everything else is kind of what you'd expect from an Amazon tool. And then these are replacement nozzles, which this one already has one inserted in there. So I'm going to put this back on. So pretty straightforward so far. Let's hope it works, but I'll bring you guys outside, get the pressure washer out there, and I'll show you what we're going to blast. All right, so here's our hood. As you can see, paint is pretty faded, has a fair amount of surface rust. And so the rest of this car, if you haven't watched any of the videos, I've done all the metal work on it, taken all the paint down to bare metal. It's currently an epoxy primer. And we should be starting body work on it soon. This is actually one of the last pieces that needs to be brought down. But all the other paint on the car fought me tooth and nail. I don't know what they painted it with, but I could not get it off. I don't even know how much money I went through in sanding discs. So I figured I would give this a try. But this is what we're going to be working on. All right, got my pressure washer set up. It's nothing special. It's an off-the-shelf unit from Home Depot. Got the gun set up, already plugged in to the wand. All right, and then this is what we're using for our media. Again, this is fine coal slag from Tractor Supply. I grabbed the 50-pound bag, and we'll see if it works, and if it does, how far it gets us. All right, so we have our media in the bag, the bucket. I'm going to cover it with a bag just to make sure that it stays dry, because I'm sure that there's some water that's going to get thrown from pressure washer. So we'll bag that up. I have my respirator and mask ready to go. So I'm going to set this up, put the bag over it, fire it up, and see how it does. Well, it does work. That was probably about 25 minutes but I did go through a complete 50-pound bag of coal slag. And as you saw in the hood, similar to when you pressure wash like your deck or something like that, if you don't have a wide nozzle on there, you kind of get those lines. Same thing applies to this. So I don't know if it could be modified at all. All right, if we could either make a new nozzle for it or change something to help the pattern out. But it definitely does work. If you were looking at this for small spots, I think absolutely worth the money. For 30 bucks, if you already have a pressure washer, it's kind of a no-brainer. That 50-pound bag of coal slag was $15. You could easily spend 4 times that amount in sanding discs to try and take all that stuff down. Obviously, we still have some more to go. The other thing is they do sell it in 2 different grains. So that was the extra fine. I'm wondering if the coarse, probably should have thought about that when I bought it, but I'm wondering if the coarse might actually be a little bit more effective. Also, if you guys were paying attention, it might have been a little bit difficult with the sun, but every once in a while, that pickup tube would actually pop out of the media and it would spray just water. So you could see it as I was going. At least I noticed it. It would start to remove the paint and the rust, and then it would stop and just hose it down. So although I think the bucket is better than the bag, I'm thinking of trying to find even like a cheap, inexpensive like blast pot or something that almost like funnels the material to the bottom, so I'm not constantly adjusting the tube, and we have a nice steady supply. I think I'm going to look into potentially modifying something on there to maybe make the spray pattern a little bit wider, better for large surface areas like that. But I'm definitely going to grab another bag or 2 and continue to spray that hood down, because that was a lot faster and a lot more cost effective than sanding. Downside of that stuff is it gets everywhere. It's all over the camera mount. So definitely get a good respirator, mask, eyewear. Kind of goes without saying, and working with abrasive material like that, you don't want it getting into your lungs. And then plan for a mess. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you've used one of these before, if you've had decent luck with it, if you've modified one, anything like that. I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are, or if you've ever used one. I'll leave a link for that particular one in the description below if anybody's interested in it. And if anybody wants to see more and maybe make that tool a little bit more effective, let me know. I think I'm going to work on it anyway, but curious to see if anybody out there would be interested in watching. Thanks, guys. See you very soon.